Hey friends! Welcome back to Simple English Life, your cozy little corner to slow down and grow your English, one step at a time. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like no matter how long you've studied English, you still can't speak it freely? Yeah, that was exactly how I felt for years. I kept learning, but I wasn't speaking. So, in today's podcast, I'll tell you what changed and how I finally broke through. Here's what we'll explore. First, the real story behind my 30-day speaking challenge. Then, a short, useful conversation with real-life phrases. And finally, 20 sentences you can shadow to boost your fluency. Take a deep breath. Let's begin. This might just be the beginning of your own breakthrough too. Part 1. Storytelling. This was my 30-day challenge to speak English every day. Let's see what happened and what I learned. I wanted to improve my English speaking, but I was always too shy to speak. I could understand English well enough, but when it came to speaking, I just froze. Words didn't come out. My mind went blank. So one day, I made a decision. I gave myself a challenge. Speak English every day for 30 days. Not perfectly, not for hours, just a little bit, but every single day. And that's when everything changed. On day 1, I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself and whispered, "Good morning. Today is Monday." It felt strange. My voice sounded unfamiliar. But I kept going. I said simple things like, "I am learning English. I want to speak better." I smiled even though I felt awkward. And I said to myself, "I'm proud of you for starting." On day 2, I talked about my breakfast. I'm eating bread with eggs. Simple. Clear. I practiced the word egg a few times. Egg, eggs, an egg. Then I added more. I like hot tea in the morning. My voice shook a little, but it was a start. On day 3, I described my job. I work in an office. I use the computer every day. I also practice saying, "I like my job, but sometimes it's stressful." Saying stressful made me laugh. It came out strashful the first time. But I repeated it slowly, again and again. On day 4, I talked about my likes and dislikes. I like quiet mornings. I love music. I don't like loud noises. I hate being late. It was the first time I tried to express feelings in English, and it felt freeing. On day 5, I recorded my voice for the first time. I talked about my weekend. Then I played the recording. My voice sounded weird, but I noticed something. I made a few grammar mistakes. So I repeated the same sentences but corrected. That was real progress. On day 6, I described what I could see around me. I see a blue curtain. There is a plant on the table. I practiced prepositions on the table, under the chair, next to the door. Oh, it felt like I was teaching myself English. And it worked. On day 7, I discovered shadowing. I watched a short English clip on YouTube. I played one sentence, paused, repeated it aloud. Again and again, I tried to match the tone, the speed, the emotion. It was hard, but fun. I loved how native speakers moved their mouths. I copied them like a mirror. I felt alive. On day 8, I created a routine. After brushing my teeth, I practiced 5 minutes, same time, same place. Consistency made me feel serious. I wasn't just trying, I was building a habit. On day 9, I spoke about my childhood. I grew up in a small town. My school was near my house. I shared one memory aloud. I used to ride my bike to school. I smiled remembering it. And somehow, the words came more naturally. On day 10, I joined an English group online. I typed, "Hi, I'm learning English. Can I practice with someone?" One kind person replied. We had a short voice chat. I was shaking, but I spoke slowly, clearly, and I didn't give up. That was the first time I spoke to a stranger in English. It felt like a mountain conquered. On day 11, I practiced with music. I listened to an English song and shadowed the lyrics. I sang, I laughed. It was relaxing and fun. Music helped me feel the rhythm of the language. On day 12, I talked about my feelings. I feel tired today, but I'm happy I'm learning. I'm proud of my effort. I feel nervous, but excited. I learned how powerful it is to speak your emotions. On day 13, I shared my daily routine. I wake up at 6. I drink water. I exercise. I noticed I was speaking faster, not rushing, but flowing. On day 14, I had a conversation with myself. How was your day? It was okay. I finished my work and cleaned the house. What did you learn today? I learned that I'm stronger than I thought. It was like talking to a friend. Myself. On day 15, I told a short story. I met my friend last week. We went to a coffee shop. I tried to add details. She ordered a latte. I had green tea. We talked for an hour. It made the story more alive. On day 16, I focused on pronunciation. I practiced the sound think, thank, this, that. At first, I said tink instead of think, but I looked at the mirror and corrected it. Tongue between teeth. Soft breath. Think. Got it. On day 17, I talked about my dreams. I want to travel. I want to speak English with people from around the world. It made me emotional. Speaking about my dreams in English made them feel more real. On day 18, I shadowed a TED Talk. I paused after each sentence. I repeated. Matched the speaker's rhythm. It was difficult, but powerful. I felt like my English level jumped that day. On day 19, I watched a short English vlog. Then I talked about it. She went to a bookstore. She bought 2 novels. It helped me connect listening with speaking. On day 20, something changed. I was no longer scared. I didn't need to write notes first. I just spoke. Naturally, like talking in my first language, and it felt amazing. On day 21, I practiced phrasal verbs. Wake up, get up, sit down, pick up, turn off. I made short sentences with each. I wake up at 6. I pick up my bag. It helped me sound more natural. On day 22, I played a yes-no game. I asked myself 20 questions and answered in English. Do you like coffee? Yes, I love it. Do you have a pet? No, but I want one. It was fun. And quick. On day 23, I described photos. I opened my gallery and talked about old pictures. This is my birthday last year. I wore a red dress. It helped me build fluency using real-life images. On day 24, I taught someone else. I helped my younger cousin practice English. Explaining things made me realize I really do know this. On day 25, I gave myself a challenge. Speak for 5 minutes, no stopping, no notes. I talked about my weekend. I paused sometimes, but I didn't give up. When I finished, I felt so proud. That was a huge win. On day 26, I practiced questions. What time do you wake up? Where do you work? I made my own mini interview. Then I answered each question out loud. On day 27, I shadowed a scene from a movie. I chose 1 minute. Practiced it 10 times. I learned new expressions like, are you serious? And come on. It made my speaking more expressive. On day 28, I gave advice to a friend. He was scared to speak English. I told him, just start. Say 1 sentence, then another. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to try. I realized I wasn't just learning anymore. I was inspiring someone. On day 29, I reflected on my growth. I listened to my day 1 recording and then my day 29 one. What a difference. Clearer voice, better flow, more confidence. Tears came to my eyes. And on day 30, I smiled. I looked back and thought, I did it. I spoke English every day for 30 days. My voice was stronger. My fear was smaller. My confidence bigger than ever. And my dream closer than I thought. Now, speaking English is like brushing my teeth. It's part of my daily life. I don't wait for the right time. I just speak. Because progress comes from showing up, not being perfect, just consistent. So if you're listening right now and you're scared to speak, remember this. Start small, but start today. That's how I changed my English and my life. That was quite a journey, wasn't it? 30 days of speaking, every single day. Some days were hard, some were fun, but every word I spoke helped me grow, little by little. And you know what? The biggest change wasn't just my English, it was how I started talking to myself with more kindness, more curiosity. That inner voice became my friend. So now, let's move on to part 2. Some simple real-life dialogues. Things I said to myself and things I said to others. Useful English, real feelings. And a great chance for you to shadow and repeat with me. Are you ready? Let's go. Part 2, real-life dialogue. What am I doing today? I'm practicing English speaking. How long will I speak? Just 5 minutes a day. What should I talk about? My daily life and simple topics. Do I talk to myself? Yes, in front of the mirror. Isn't that strange? A little, but it really helps. Do I record myself? Yes, and then I listen to improve. Do I use shadowing? Absolutely. I repeat after native speakers. What kind of videos do I use? YouTube clips with short dialogues. Do I still feel nervous speaking English? Not as much as before. Do I speak with other people? Sometimes online with language partners. Did I make mistakes? Of course, but I kept going anyway. What did I learn? Speaking every day builds real confidence. What was the hardest part? Starting, but after that it got easier. Will I continue after 30 days? Yes, definitely. What would I say to a beginner? Speak now. Don't wait to feel ready. What if I feel embarrassed? That's normal, but speak anyway. Do I use notes when speaking? Sometimes, but I try not to depend on them. When's my favorite time to practice? Early morning when everything is quiet. Did I celebrate day 30? Yes, I even made a little video for myself. What changed the most? My confidence. I trust my voice now. Wow, those dialogues felt so real, didn't they? Like things we actually say every single day. And that's why I love practicing with real-life English. It feels natural, not forced. Now it's time for one of my favorite parts, shadowing practice. These are short, powerful sentences. Simple, but full of rhythm and energy. You'll repeat them out loud, just like a song stuck in your head. The more you say them, the more they become part of your voice. So, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and get ready. Let's shadow together. One, I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better every single day. I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better every single day. Now it's your turn. 2, my voice matters, even if it shakes. My voice matters, even if it shakes. Now it's your turn. 3, one step a day is still real progress. One step a day is still real progress. Now it's your turn. 4. I speak English with courage, not fear. I speak English with courage, not fear. Now it's your turn. 5. Every mistake I make teaches me something new. Every mistake I make teaches me something new. 6. I talk to myself and I grow with every word. I talk to myself and I grow with every word. 7. Practice doesn't have to be long, just daily. Practice doesn't have to be long, just daily. 8. Today, I'll try. Tomorrow, I'll try again. Today, I'll try. Tomorrow, I'll try again. 9. Speaking English makes me feel strong. Speaking English makes me feel strong. 10. I used to be scared. Now I'm proud. I used to be scared. Now I'm proud. 11. English is more than a language, it's my new voice. English is more than a language, it's my new voice. 12. I learn by doing, not just by knowing. I learn by doing, not just by knowing. 13. 5 minutes of speaking can change my day. 5 minutes of speaking can change my day. 14. I speak even when I'm not confident. That's how I grow. I speak even when I'm not confident. That's how I grow. 15. Small words, big progress. Small words, big progress. 16. Shadowing makes English part of me. Shadowing makes English part of me. 17. The mirror is my first teacher. The mirror is my first teacher. 18. I smile when I speak, it helps more than I thought. I smile when I speak, it helps more than I thought. 19. Speaking English is now part of my life. Speaking English is now part of my life. 20. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm speaking today. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm speaking today. Thank you for joining me on this 30-day English speaking journey. Just a little practice each day can lead to big, beautiful changes. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need a little courage and your own voice. Don't wait for the right moment. Create it. Speak something, anything, in English today. And if this podcast inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little encouragement. In our next episode, I'll share something close to my heart. When my mind goes blank in English. So, take a deep breath. And remember, keep it simple. Keep it daily. Keep speaking. Keep growing. Thanks for listening. See you next time on Simple English Life.